I opened the mail and my heart slammed against my chest. Big red letters screamed at me. Foreclosure notice, HOA initiated auction. I blinked. I read it again. My hands shook. My own land. My family's property for decades. And now some HOA, some group of strangers, was claiming the right to take it from me. My mind raced. How could this be real? How could anyone schedule a foreclosure on land I've owned longer than their HOA even existed? Panic hit first, then anger. I felt disbelief twist into fury. My coffee trembled in my hand, spilling over the edge, but I didn't care. This wasn't just a letter. This was a declaration of war. They had no idea what they were about to unleash. The notices kept coming. First, friendly reminders about compliance and aesthetics. Then, late fees for amenities I've never touched: clubhouse, swimming pool, private park. And finally, the knockout punch: a lien on my property. A legal claim that they could auction off my home if I didn't pay $12,000 immediately. I stared at it, mouth dry, heart racing. This wasn't just harassment, it was a threat. And now the clock was ticking. I couldn't wait. I marched straight into their shiny new clubhouse, determination burning in my chest. Marble floors gleamed under my boots. Leather chairs lined the walls, and the smell of polished wood hit me like a warning. The HOA president was perched behind a large desk, flipping through papers with that smug, untouchable smile. She looked at me like I was a minor inconvenience in her perfect little world. "You can either cooperate," she said, voice smooth and cold, "or we will proceed, like I was a delinquent borrower." Like my family's land wasn't legally recorded decades before her HOA even existed. My blood boiled. I slammed my deed onto the desk. "Check this. Recorded decades before your HOA even existed. You have no authority over my property." She barely glanced at it, smirked, and pushed it aside. "Sir, rules are rules. Pay or lose your property." I left that room shaking, not from fear, but from disbelief. Who even thinks they can schedule a foreclosure on someone's land they don't control? The audacity. The arrogance. My mind replayed that moment over and over, burning with frustration. 3 days later, the final blow landed, a public auction date posted officially. 30 days from now, strangers could show up and try to claim what is mine. $14,870 magically owed in HOA fees, legal costs, and penalties. My stomach churned. The paper said it all, but it didn't scare me. It fueled me. And then it hit me. They think they have me trapped. They think I'll panic, beg, or fold. They have no idea what I'm capable of. They don't know the proof I have, the history of this land, the records showing their authority is nothing. They haven't imagined what it would take to actually stop me. I walked back to my porch that evening, staring at the land my family built, the land I've fought to protect. I could almost hear the whispers of my ancestors, reminding me that this is not just land, it's legacy. And I made a silent promise: they will regret ever thinking they could bully me. They will regret underestimating me, and when the moment comes, every smug smirk, every dismissive glance will backfire on them completely. Fear, anger, panic, they want me to feel it. But I feel something stronger: determination. And with that, I knew one thing for certain: no HOA, no matter how arrogant, was walking away with my family's land. Not today, not ever. The day of the auction arrived, and the HOA thought they had me trapped, but I had already prepared. I had all the proof: the deed, the historical records, even letters showing that my property was never part of their community. I walked into that office again, calm but furious, ready to confront every smug face on that board. They saw me enter and their smiles faltered just a little. I could feel it. The same confidence they had wielded like a weapon. Gone, replaced with confusion. They were expecting fear. They were expecting panic. And instead they got the law, history, and the truth rolled into one unstoppable force. "Let's review the records," I said, sliding my documents across the table. "Check the dates. Check the language. This property is mine. It's never been part of your HOA. You've overstepped every boundary possible." The HOA president's face tightened. She flipped through my documents, her hands trembling slightly, her smugness cracking. This can't be right," she stammered. "Our counsel said—" I didn't even let her finish. I looked at each board member and asked, "How do you plan to justify auctioning someone's land when your own records prove it's not yours to claim? Do you really think the law will side with arrogance over facts?" A silence fell over the room. It wasn't just quiet. It was the kind of silence that comes when your opponent holds all the cards and you realize your plan is crumbling. They had never imagined someone would fight back like this. And that's when it hit me. I had them. Completely. By the time they called off the auction, I had them agree in writing that no further claims or fees could be imposed on my property. Every attempt to intimidate me had failed. Every letter, every lien, every threat, nothing worked because I stood firm and had the proof to back it up. They weren't just defeated, they were humiliated in front of their entire board. Now I want to ask you something. If this happened to you, how would you react? Would you stay silent, or would you fight with everything you've got? Let me know in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to stand up too. And hey, if you've been enjoying this story so far and want more true-life HOA nightmare stories with dramatic twists, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps me bring more content like this. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, so you never miss a video where we reveal the shocking truths behind HOA conflicts, legal battles, and homeowners standing up for their rights. Sometimes the scariest threats are what's written on paper. They're the people who assume you won't fight back. But when you do, that's when everything changes. And trust me, seeing that smug smile vanish from the HOA president's face? Priceless. So what would you have done if your land was threatened like this? Comment below with your plan because I want to know. Would you fight or fold? And remember, knowledge is power. Always check your deeds, always stand firm, and never let anyone bully you out of what's rightfully yours. Because in the end, courage, preparation, and proof can turn even the most impossible situation around. And that's exactly what happened to me.